Left hook, then connects with a smashing right, another right, a left, and another right sends
pushing him off. A la Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis, and he's having his way. Firing shots. Big right hand by Daniel.
With the left, Ellis standing there. Oh, a tremendous left hook, and he can.
Klitschko has to invent the body.
Right. Welcome back to Fantasy Fights. This time, Wladimir Klitschko goes up against Lennox Lewis, two of the best heavyweights in recent memory. Before we get going, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Now let's take a look at the numbers. Both had extraordinary careers. Klitschko, after his rough start of his career in 2003 with his knockout of Corey Sanders when he was knocked out in 2 rounds, he recovered. They both had the same trainer. He hired Emmanuel Stewart and was dominant figure. He went 11 years without a loss from 2004 to 2015. Lennox had the same manager, Emmanuel Stewart, as I said. He was a heavyweight champion, universally recognized. And these guys are, in the multi-belt era, 99 to 2001, 2001 to 2004, and he retired with the title. As far as the numbers go, they're very similar. I don't want to get all into them. We will talk about their losses a little bit, but I will call your attention. Lennox has a 3-inch reach advantage. This should be a great matchup. Two fighters that very well could have met in 2003 or 2004, but they never did. So let's look at it and let me know what you think would happen if these two great fighters met.
The right hook that he just got caught with. Oh.
Oh, he's got him! He's got him! He got Canis. Is it Oliver McCall all over again? Yes. It is! And Lewis has gone! Lewis has gone!
Right now, and he comes out in a very aggressive posture.
Well, if he opens up to try to fulfill the round 3 prophecy, does Lewis get a chance with the right hand? Lewis, 21 of 54 with the jab in the first 2 rounds. You know what Holyfield attacking to the body, his most aggressive combination so far. Over the top with the right hand. Did he get into Lewis's head? Did he make Lewis fear round 3?
You know the good thing that he got gloves.
Leaving Lewis with what are called the puncher's gloves.
It's like a pillow.
Holyfield landed a left hook inside and lands a right hand, and Lewis is stunned. Evander attacking, trying to fulfill the prophecy, I should say.
Real good defense. Tommy's not getting through, and I think Vergette's is killing.
His eyes are starting to swell, and this just
were blocked by Lennox Lewis's arms. And there's a monumental uppercut. Morrison went to one knee. Lane calls it a knockdown correctly.
In here anytime.
In pleading his own case, this thing too fast, I'm dangerous. But now he comes back to the jab, popping it been a factor so far. Down goes Morrison again.
Switch off and not do a lot.
He's using a good defense and keeping pretty elusive. Good shots from Bruno.
And the left hook from Bruno with good hand speed. 2 more jabs, chance of Bruno, ring around Cardiff Arms Park. He catches Lewis again, optimistic signs. So far we've got Lewis landing 84 punches and Bruno 83. We have an expert counting the punches as they are landed.
The one thing's for sure, this certainly is a great heavyweight title fight.
Look at Bruno here, coming up with a left hook, catches him, and Bruno was hurt by that. And now Lewis is looking to close in to finish this, and Bruno is in trouble. Bruno is in big trouble. And Lewis carries on a relentless assault here, pouring on the punishment. These are bad moments for Frank Bruno. Right uppercut, and I think Mickey Bone's going to...
Wladimir Klitschko.
Going to happen.
Right hand by Klitschko, down goes first. He's got a good team. Klitschko thinks he might be able to finish him. A knockout of Chris Bird would be a huge credential for Klitschko. Bird's in big trouble. Got hit with a massive left hook. Another left hook. He's open to the right hand. Wladimir didn't find him. Another right hand. A left hook. Bird hasn't fired back yet.
Bird is trying to pull a Brewster, his cousin, Lamont Brewster, who took tremendous punishment, came back to win the fight. He's standing in there and taking awful punishment. Terrible barrage.
But Wladimir is not selling out the way he did against Brewster. More measured in his attack. Bird badly wobbled, having trouble taking the right hand shots.
There, and then did show how tough he is, but at what price?
Just a perfect shot.
The culmination of Karabi that Peter is pulled out by his corner at the end of this 3 minutes. And he's touring.
That talks live and Klitschko up. He's following.
Desperate. It's so painful.
Peter's corner, I think, a permanent stop it.
He's done with here. Samuel Peter showing uppercut.
Sich immer ganz tief Povetkin und dann taucht er auf. Das ist auch so eine... Ups. Guter linker Haken an. Klitschko vergisst die rechte, arbeitet nur mit der linken, boxt ihn aus. Oh, links, rechts, guter Treffer. Da ist er dran geblieben, hat nicht locker gelassen. Wladimir Klitschko kann sich nicht darauf verlassen, dass der nächste Niederschlag reichen würde. Die linke war wieder drin. Povetkin kann sich nicht verteidigen. Versucht. Und Klitschko nimmt Maß. Und die Reflexe sind weg. Oder anderen Eisbeutel. Naja, wieder ein bisschen.
Against Kubrat Pulev.
To muster, but Pulev. Obviously, early in this fight, that's what he has to do.
And a left hook lands for Klitschko, and down goes Pulev.
Necessity is the mother of invention, and why should... Klitschko has to invent a
hard
body
right
attack.
hand by Klitschko, momentarily wobbled.
Standing in the middle of the ring, both guys boxing, and one guy able to land that kind of shot.
Ella holds up for the moment to that punch.
Punch by a good puncher. He hits hit again and holds.
The problem Klitschko is having, he's got his knees bent, lowering his height some more.
Klitschko goes down. And there's a cut over Klitschko's left eye, right on the eyebrow. Long time to go in the round. Man was able to do in this situation. He was able to come back and knock Sanders out.
See the left hand that Sanders is hitting him with.
And he's attacking to try to get out of trouble instead of holding. And this is not going to go well. Another knockdown, the fourth time, and the referee, Gennaro Rodriguez.
Now we're going to take a look at the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters. Wladimir Klitschko first. You can see on the left-hand side, the fighters he defeated in his prime. The number out to the beside of him is their generational ranking. And you can see there's not anybody really high up. Alexander Povetkin was the highest ranked. Pulev, which you saw the video of both those fighters. David Haye was number 19, and Shigev was number 13. So he avoided really no one. Very impressive. Let's look at his strengths. Strong jab, used his size to his advantage, as you saw in the Povetkin fight. A lot of that was illegal moves, but the referee let him do it, and he used his size to keep Povetkin from getting into his body. He was extremely strong. I think that's what a lot of people lose sight of. You can just tell the way he was throwing Povetkin around in the ring. A very strong heavyweight. Excellent defensive fighter. He was very, very conservative on his offensive attack after early in his career when he would just go in swinging. He learned from that, and he became an excellent defensive fighter. He had imposing size, very well-built, 6'6", 245, 250, and he was a power boxer. What I mean by that is he was an excellent boxer with power. Weaknesses, we could go all day on this, debatable. Questionable chin, you've always got to put that down because of his early years in his career. I think that was due more to his endurance and some of the problems he was having with his health at that time. But clearly the Corey Sanders fight, he was caught and that was a clean knockout. Let's move on to Lennox Lewis. You can see the fighters he faced over there. You got Holyfield number 3, but I don't think Holyfield was in his prime when he faced him. Vitaly Klitschko sure was, number 4. David Tua, 20, and Ray Mercer, number 17. So he fought an impressive list there. But, really only one fighter in the top 10. Like I said, he beat Tyson, but Tyson was well beyond 10 years past his prime. Strengths, he was a power boxer, much like Klitschko. He was an excellent boxer. He controlled a fight, but he could take you out as well. Strong jab, ability to adapt to his opponent. I think that's one of the things people don't give him credit for, was just how smart a fighter he was. Now, much like Klitschko, his intelligence grew when he brought Stewart on. Stewart made these guys pretty sharp and looked for weaknesses. He was a solid defensive fighter. Weakness, you're going to say his chin as well because of his 2 knockout losses. Once again, I'm going to defend him like I did Klitschko. I think he had a very strong chin. I think he got caught on both those evenings, and he came back and defeated both those fighters. Now we're going to take a look at the comparison chart. There's not a lot of differences in these 2 fighters. They were very similar. Looking at the hand speed, no great difference. Boxing ability, both of them were outstanding boxers, especially for men their size, just incredible talents. KO power, both of them had incredible power. That's why these guys were so tough to defeat. Chin, I'm going to give Klitschko an advantage in chin. Size, no advantage. Defense, both of them were excellent fighters. Endurance, I'm going to give Lennox an advantage there because Klitschko faded in some of his fights and was knocked out. I think it was due to endurance a lot of times because of his health issues at the time. Adaptability, both of them were smart, had a great manager, made good decisions. Both of them had similar foot speed. Strength, I believe Klitschko was a little stronger, and that's saying a lot because Lennox was a tower of strength. Jab, both of them had solid jabs and worked off of them. Cuts, no advantage. Reach, got to give Lennox a little reach advantage there, 3 inches, and body attack, no advantage there. And it comes out 2-2, just as you might have suspected. Now we're going to take a look at the keys to the fight. Both are excellent boxers in controlling a fight. Both are very defensive-minded. They didn't just go out there and start swinging. At their best, both were under the control of Emanuel Stewart. Both will try to control the fight with their jab. Which fighter has the advantage from the distance in the middle of the ring? That's a big question. Lewis faced Vitaly, but Wladimir had a much different style than his brother. Who will be the aggressor in the fight is another issue. When Stewart took over for Wladimir, he completely changed his style. Wladimir went 11 years without a defeat and was 39 years old when he lost to Tyson Fury. Lewis had 2 unexpected knockout losses during his prime. Early in his career, Klitschko also had 2 surprising knockouts as well. Fight results. No question the fight should go the limit of 12 rounds. I have no doubt about that. Both are excellent conditioned fighters in their prime. Lewis had the reach advantage, which could be a telling factor in the close fight. Klitschko is stronger, but Lewis is more athletic. I think that's important in that Lewis could hit from a lot of different angles. Not that Klitschko couldn't, but I thought Lewis was more fluid. Both fighters score, but Lewis is more aggressive and gains a 12-round decision. Both fighters were Olympic gold medalists and winners their entire career. Both faced tremendous adversity during their careers and achieved great success coming back from it. After looking at everything, I am leaning towards Lewis. Klitschko was stronger, but Lewis is a better athlete, and Lewis came back in many of his fights to win, much more so than Wladimir. Wladimir usually fought from the lead except for the first Samuel fight. Lewis was also viewed as a little bit more mobile on his feet. I don't know if you agree with that or not. There's just not much difference between these 2 legends. With the exception of the 2 fights against Tyson and Holyfield, which both of them I feel like were on beyond their prime at the time, Lewis' best wins were Ray Mercer and David Tua. Klitschko's best wins were against Shigev and Povetkin. So, they fought the best that were around at the time and really dodged nobody. Looking at a chart that I think is very telling, and that's comparing both fighters to the top 10, top 20, and top 30 in my generational rankings. You can see they're both are very impressive. Lewis has a total of 9-2-1. Wladimir has a record of 11-3. Against top 10 fighters, Lewis is 1-0-1, and I'm not counting the Mike Tyson fight in there. Top 10, Wladimir is 1-1. Top 20, Wladimir was 8-0, very impressive. And then top 30, you can see he's only 2-2. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a tough call. I hope you let me know what you think. I'm going to give this fight a +2 because I feel okay about my decision, but not great. I could see how many people could go with Wladimir in this fight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Please hit the like button and subscribe.